Okay, welcome, welcome. Now, if you know of anybody else that's supposed to be on this call, please send them a message right now and tell them that we're getting started. But I am so excited that you guys have been here. So, Abigail, you're fairly new. I would love to hear where you're from in the comments. I would love to hear what inspired you to start pottery? And Donna, if you're a new pet pro, I would love to hear where you're from, how long you've been a pet pro. I'm super excited to talk about what's possible today. And we've got some other amazing leaders that are on here with us so that if I miss anything, they can jump in and get started. But I'm going to dive right in with who I am. My name is Elka Bostwick. I am a founding, what am I? I'm a 2-star vice president, and I've been with pottery for 10 years. I started out as a veterinary technician. I was doing that for 20 years, joined pottery and was able to retire from my vet tech job almost a year later. When you're in that industry, you do it because you're passionate about it, not because you make a lot of money. And I was able to replace my money fairly quickly. And I found myself at home. And as a new pet pro, I wasn't always one that ran right out of the gate. Like it was a struggle for me to get started. It wasn't always an easy pathway, but I have been very consistent in my business. And here I am 10 years later, working this business full time and able to do it from home, surrounded by friends and family. And now, because my kids are now older, they're in their 20s. I have one more younger one at home, but now I'm able to be a stay at home dog mom. And that's kind of a fun new transition for me. And so we're going to dive right in. First and foremost, I want to make sure and comment into the chat box, has everybody had any issues getting into their back office? Because what we're going to do is we're going to dive into what's called the greenhouse. This is fairly new for many of us, but I'm loving everything about it so much. I'm going to share this with you. It is something you can find in your back office you can find it in your back office under the tab called Pro Tools. It's the very first link that's underneath that. And the greenhouse is definitely going to be your go-to for a lot of things as a new and a seasoned pet pro. And Christy just dropped that into the chat box. If you want to save the chat at the very end, you might see a lot of links that are coming through here. So let me share my screen. And we're going to dive right in. Now, the first 30 minutes is going to be a training portion of this, and then the last 30 minutes will be open to questions and answers to anything that you might have as a new pet pro. We'll share a few of the other calls that we have going on that might benefit you as new pet pros, along with working with your sponsor closely so that you can get the best benefit of this business that you possibly can. Now, this is called the greenhouse. I love the greenhouse. It's going to have everything that you need to have outside of your back office as far as training and learning and information. You can see across the very top, we have the Getting Started tab. This is where you're going to find the launch pad, which we're going to do today, and Fast Start Rewards. It's going to have trainings, conversations, where to focus for the month, learn how to be a seller, learn how to be a builder. And once you start gathering customers, you'll also see some information on that. And if you work with your sponsor on any questions that you have on it, they're the best go-to is your mentor to give you all of the things that you need to be successful. Now, some of you might be like, oh my gosh, how do I get started on social media? Social media wasn't a strong pathway for me in the very beginning. And now that we're 10 years into this, I love it because they have a whole social media marketing area that will help you to learn how to do this business in multiple different areas. We have campaigns. These are all of Pottery's current company campaigns that'll be posted each month to help you stay in the know. It's got information on things that you should know, company events that are coming up. You can contact support, as well as product education, product updates, any questions about rebranding, how that's going, as well as PawFest. PawFest is it's probably our #1 biggest conference of the year. It's coming up at the end of July. I'm excited to see many faces that are on this call. And you can find a lot about the breakout sessions, what you'll be learning from the company leaders, as well as our keynote speakers in the PawFest, as well as the company blog. The company blog is also a great tool to share on social media, share through text messaging, share through emails, and it all links back to you. So the greenhouse is definitely something that I always report back to, where I send a lot of links out from here. And we're going to scroll down to the middle section. Getting started, we're going to start at the launch pad. How perfect is that? The launch pad. We're going to get your businesses launched. Okay, can you guys see my screen okay? Says low. So again, if you are on here and you're a brand new pet pro or you're a seasoned pet pro, I would love to hear where are you from, how long you've been a pet pro. We want to know all of the things about you so we can best support you, whether your mentor is on here or not. We want to get to know you. So it's really fun for me to do this call because it's the first time I've been asked to and been able to do this. So we're going to dive right in. First, we're going to talk about these are the 10 simple steps for launching your pottery business. How many of you guys like came into this business and didn't know what to do? And you were like, man, I wish there was some boxes that I could check off. I've always been a box checker. And this is probably my favorite fast start and launching that Pottery has ever done for Pottery. And I'm really excited to dive right in. So step one, get connected. This is a great welcome message from Pottery. Now we're just going to go over the 10 steps. We're not going to do a deep dive into that. This is when I want you to kind of go through, get all of the videos watched, do a lot of that work, and then connect with your mentor or anybody else that you're choosing to work with and ask questions. There's also some calls that you can come to during the week that you can bring all of your new pet pro and seasoned pet pro questions to. So first and foremost, get the welcome message from Roger. You're going to want to get to know the guy. He's pretty awesome, pretty amazing, and he does a lot to support us in the field. And join the communities. Now, outside of this company community, you guys will also see it's going to take you to a link to join the company Facebook group. Don't mind all my messages. You're going to want to be a part of this, but not just this group. You're going to want to really talk to your mentors because there's a lot of team chats out there. There's a lot of team Facebook groups that you're going to want to be in. So make sure that you connect with them and get you into those. Step two, get set up. Now, there's a few tips for getting set up, and there's a checklist that you can download that'll help you to get started right away. So this is the fast start. You're going to want to make sure that you have all of the information to log into your back office. This is where your back office is going to be so that you can track customers, track orders, look at any team members, see where you're at in the business as far as potential promotings, fast start bonuses, commissions, and all of the things happening within your personal business. And you'll want to write down your website. Your website is where you're going to send customers to purchase from you. So you'll want to know the difference between the two and what and how to utilize them. And I'll show you a little bit my recommendation for learning your website. You'll want to know people you need to know. Your sponsor, who is your sponsor? Who is above your sponsor? Who are the people that you should connect with? Like talk to your mentor and say, hey, if you're not available, where can I plug into? You'll be added to either a team chat or you'll have several upline mentors that you can go to. And so a lot of this is getting familiar with that. This is a great place to put that. We're going to go right down into the setup checklist. Now, I want to know, have you guys been able, as new pet pros, have you guys been able to set up your own order yet? Have you ordered any of the Pottery products? And if you have you been able to try them? Comment in the chat box. We want to hear what products have you had the opportunity to try? And outside of that, also, have you had the opportunity to do a pet profile? The pet profile is the number one way I sell pet products outside of like vendor events. I do a lot of pet consults, pet nutrition consults with people I know, people I just met. It's a great way. So have you done a pet profile and have you been able to try those products? And number two, set up your website. When you log into your pro office, you're going to want to add a photo, set up any social media links that you have. And if you don't have anything created, just put your own personal stuff and it'll help you to learn and see and kind of find out what you want to do with the business. But I always just use, like, even to this day, 10 years later, I use my Elka Bostwick Facebook timeline. It has been my go-to since day one. So don't feel like you have to create anything, but go ahead and put that in. Write your story. Right now, you guys as new pet pros, you have a story. What inspired you to join Pottery? Because it's going to change and you can add and change and adjust this as you start to grow as a pet pro. You'll want to make sure that you learn what the library is. This is, again, you log into the Pro Office under the different tabs. You can find this under Pro Tools. And this is great because you can find all kinds of informations, PDFs, You can find social media. You can go through and send these as links to your friends and family and the new people that you're going to meet. As well as number 4, you're going to want to download the My Pottery app. It's an awesome tool to be able to send videos and images to the prospects and the people that you're talking to. And I absolutely love that about it. Love that about our app. So where to plug into? You're going to want to learn, and this is all in the back office library, your pro office library, the greenhouse, live trainings that are going to be happening on Facebook. I know many of the upline, top leaders will send out emails to their team with all of the weekly happenings. I like to call it the paw news. Christy and I, we do weekly paw news to our teams, and it's really fun. You're going to want to know where places you can work, team calls, power hours, in-person events, vendor events, all the tools that you have to build your businesses. And you're going to want to know where to invite and where to connect. And these are all going to be located. And this is a great starting pad to talk to your upline mentor, anybody in the business, to help you to see what's going to fit you best, whether you're a breeder or a pet professional or a regular, dog mom professional like me. We have a place to connect to help you to grow and fit this business just for you. Can someone post a link to the back office in the chat? Yes, Christy will grab that for us. So top 5 things to look for when you log into your back office. Number 1, banners. Each month, watch for the featured information and the links and the rotating headlines. Now, keep in mind, if a lot of this is like really overwhelming, good news. Don't think you have to know everything right now. You can come back to the greenhouse, go through the checkoff list, and a lot of it you'll become familiar with. Just like starting anything new, we don't expect you to know everything or remember everything. It can take up to, I would say, I don't know, many of the petPro leaders on here, tell me if I'm wrong, but it can take up to 3 months for you guys to start to really know and find. So different things, so that don't feel afraid. Like even seasoned pet pros like me are like, hey, Christy, where do I find this? Like, where did this move to? Like, we never expect you to be an expert, but we do want you to learn and become familiar with the things that'll support you in this business. So on your back office dashboard, you'll want to look for the free food widget. This means in your first 12 months as a petPro, when you qualify month to month, you can earn a free bag of food each month for the next 11 months. And that's really something that'll help you to also get started with consistency, gathering loyal customers. And what I have found is most people that come in and they do successfully earn that free food by getting the new volume each month actually start to earn their paychecks, so that in the next 12 months, your website fee will be more than covered just by simply earning your free pet food each month. And that'll make a difference as well. You'll have commission information, use the Pottery calendar. Really, your back office is a place. I always say though, don't worry about the reports until you start gathering customers, until you start gathering pet pros, because it won't make a difference to you until those numbers start changing. And then we will show you as you go how to worry about those reports, how to access the customer ones, and so on. So step 3, your business type. This is probably the favorite part for me meeting a brand new pet pro, is uncovering where do they best fit. I can tell you personal, I started as a seller, and then I ended up in a builder, and then I was all of a sudden a leader. So don't think because where you're at right now, you have to stay there. Know that this is something that you can change anytime that you want, but you really want to know that every new pet pro is asking some of these questions. And so we want you to know that our community absolutely loves people and loves pets. And we know you do too. And so it helps us to really understand we're all here in the right place at the right time, supporting each other to grow and change our personal lives, but we're also changing the lives of pets along the way with our products. And at Pottery, there isn't just one way to fit your business into your already existing lifestyle that you have. Whether you're, again, a pet professional or a professional dog mom, then we have something for you. Whether it's you aspire to just sell the products, maybe you want to have, maybe you want to sell the products and start, and maybe you're like ready to hit the ground running, and we can help you to move in to sponsor and help other people to grow as well as fast as possible. And I love this because the seller, if you're just a seller, maybe you're looking to just sell the products and build $300 to $500 of income a month. Maybe you're ready to just share pet solutions and have conversations and build relationships. That's really where I started. So maybe that is you and you want to jump in, then great. We will help you to make a small or significant amount of money just being the seller. It's kind of like the best kept secret in our affiliate space that Pottery has. And maybe you're excited to share the products and build a team, but you're like, man, I would love to do that, but I don't know how. Good news. We can help you to become a builder if that's something that you want to do. And usually, as confidence grows from being a seller, you're probably going to have people that are going to join your team. I don't know about you guys, but over the years, as I would start to gather loyal customers, all of a sudden the customers were like, I want to do what you do. And that's how I became a builder overnight, not even knowing any different. It just kind of happened for me. And so if it does, know that we're your upline and the rest of the company are here to support you in moving into this stage as well. And then maybe you just wanted to get a discount on your products, and that's okay too. You can be your best customer and just talk to some friends and family, and do your best that you can in practicing those conversations as you learn. So a builder business type is we just get so excited to show others how to do this that we can't help but do it for other people. And then before you know it, you move into the ranks. So as you start to help 3 builders advance to a senior director, you can mentor them to help 3 builders advance to a senior director. And you do this consistently and you get to automatically advance into a VP petPro. And that's the funnest part of this is every time a new petPro comes in and they're excited, it builds your confidence and it helps you to move into some of these other stages. Because some of us like, that sounds scary. Like, I don't know if I want to do this. I was not a natural born leader. I had to learn how to do it as people and my team started to grow. And this has really made a big difference for me in this business. And so decide, what does this look like for you? And talk to your mentor, talk to other pet pros. Are you just wanting to be a seller? Are you looking at the builder or maybe the leader? And as you do this, I want you to come in and watch this video and learn to see what type best fits you. Conversations. This is not probably my favorite part of pottery, but I certainly didn't learn it overnight. I had to practice a lot of really hard conversations in order to become very good at this business. So first is we connect. We have a conversation in real life or on social media, and we connect to people who love pets. And what I've learned is there are only 2 types of people in this business, or in the world, I guess I should say. Those that have pets and those that don't have pets that know people that have pets. So either way, you're going to be connected to somebody you can have a conversation with. And learning that this is a great place to do it. Our conversation guide was created by our top people in our company, and they have found what works. And so this conversation guide is very intentionally made. And then we guide. We help them to uncover any problems their pets have. We provide solutions for them, and we guide them to the products that would best fit their pets' needs. And then we invite them. We invite them to try the products with 100% satisfaction guarantee and a first order discount. And that is essentially our simple sales process. And as you start to learn a lot of these and have conversations, know that you're going to mess a lot of conversations up because you can't say enough right things to the wrong people, and you can't say enough wrong things to the right people. But know that every time you have a conversation, you're going to learn something. And if there's anything that you don't know, you have somewhere to reach out to say, hey, I just got this message and I don't know what to say. Somebody will be there to support you. But having conversations is definitely a key part of our business. Step 5, launch time. This is a very important step in your business because this is where you're going to start building relationships. Up to this point, we've kind of talked about onboarding, a little bit of education. It's kind of like setting up a new job. I mentioned it can take, quite a long time for you to adjust and get used to all the things that Pottery has to offer and getting familiar and learning some of the basic information. But while this is necessary, nothing up until this point will actually generate income. Right? It's the conversations, the guiding, and the asking that's going to generate this. But first, we have found some of the most successful pet pros have found that building a list. How many of you guys have heard about that? Like, you've got to build your list. You got to build your list. You got to build your list. For a long time, I was overbuilding the list and I had a list in my head. And I realized along the way that keeping all this in my head of who I was talking to didn't serve me or my paycheck. And it wasn't until I actually started writing people down that I had met, that I had talked to, I really was able to walk every single person that I had written down through the conversation, the connecting, the sharing videos, and then my sales started to really come. So the purpose of this list is to help keep you focused, especially if you have ADD like me. I feel like I've talked to everybody, but when I actually write it down, it's not always the case. But this list for 10 years has never been completed for me. This has been an ongoing, this has been the backbone of my business. I have binders that I started in. I moved into the digital space. I still use both to help me to connect with people, but this is a never ending list so that you know what part of the process you've talked to people. There's been times that I've been running along and I never wrote this person down and I've talked to them 3 times and they've been like, Elka, I'm just not interested. And I'm like, did you say that before? They're like, you've talked to me 3 different times. I'm like, I have. And this is where the list really helped me to be organized in making money, whether it's $100 a month, $300 to $500 a month, or you move into the bigger income levels. This will be the backbone of your list. So you'll want to watch this video. There's some great cheat sheet for name gathering ideas, going through. I've got a whole list of them as well. But you'll want to write down your first 10 people. Set a goal to make a connection with them right away. Don't worry about having to know everything because you've usually got somebody by your side that's going to help you do it. And as soon as connections are starting, you're going to write down your next 10 because what's going to happen is you're going to start having conversations with people that you know, like, and trust. And then as you start to meet new people, maybe through vendor events or other outlets that you choose, your list will start to grow with people who are going to get to know you. And this is a really important part. And it's really fun. It's probably one of the most scariest things that I ever did in the pottery business because it was one of those skill sets that I had to learn how to do it. Step 6, get social. Use your social platforms to start conversations. This is also a great place to add to your list. Whether you're on Instagram, Facebook, it doesn't matter what platform you're on, using your social media platforms to start conversations is also another way, and you want to add those people to your list as well. This part, step 6, will help you to connect, guide, and invite through social media. And it's the same building relationship process that's included in the step that we just went up in step 4, but it's going to help you to learn how to have conversations in person, on social media. And once you learn the process, then you'll be able to close sales and grow your team and have people join you. But it's going to have a top 10 launch post cheat sheet, really great sheet to get started with. Use conversations in the cheat sheet for post inspiration as well. But step 6 is really a fun one to get started. Step 7, get going now. You guys as new pet pros have your enrollment month plus 3 months to dive right into some of these limited time bonus offers that Pottery has to offer. You have the free food for a year. You can have the sales bonuses. You can earn $25 to $100 in cash bonuses each month as a base commission along with new customer sales. And then we have the advanced bonuses. And this is when you advance into new career titles during your fast start period. You can earn bonuses as well as the bonuses from the people that join you who do the same things. So if any of those look really fun for you, make sure you come back to this step and it'll help you to learn more and then get with the petPro, your petPro mentor to help you build a plan to get there. Then step 8, guys, who doesn't want to get paid? Who drop some emojis if you want to help change the lives of pets and get paid doing it. Talk about one of the most rewarding things that we have ever done in our life. And I think many of the seasoned pet pros on here can agree. But when connections accept invitations, as you build relationships with people and guide them to solutions Pottery has to offer, your goal is to invite them to give it a try. Yes, this leads to money. Who doesn't want that? I mean, we all want to change the lives of pets, but we can't say that income doesn't change our lives. So base commission on all things is 15%. And that sell is a first-time order from a new customer. Another 15% is added to your base commission. Guys, that's a total of 30% commissions. If you just want to be a seller, I do not know any other affiliate programs that you can get 30% on a first-time order. nor will they get a 15 on a base when that person orders over and over and over again. And when cells reach different tiers in a calendar month, and you have $100 in new customer cells, you get an additional 5, 10, or 15% of that base commission. So you really can earn between 15 to 45% on both your reoccurring cells and your brand new cells. And this is going to make a powerful impact as you grow in your enrollment month through your first 3 months. Step 9, product. We all want to know about the product, and I'll share with you an insight on product knowledge and how to help you to become comfortable with that, how I did it as a new petPro. But we also have product knowledge learning in Pottery University. You can go there and they can tell you the details on everything. And it'll also give you the opportunity to be able to learn as you go, as you start to have conversations. And step 10, monthly action plan. I love this because your business is a simple process of repeating the key launch steps each month. Have conversations and connect, build relationships, invite them to become part of the Pottery family. And Pottery has a monthly roadmap that will help you every single month to get started. And if you do the basics and more, it'll help you to get to exactly where you need to go. So let's dive over. Can you guys still see my screen? Perfect. Oh, my website still isn't working. Just kidding. Okay, well, I'm going to stop sharing and I'll just share with you. My website has not liked life the last couple of days since we did the update. But I want to share with you a little bit about product knowledge. It's been something that will help you to grow, because for me, I came in as a vet tech. I wanted to be a knowledge junkie. I wanted to be able to know all the science behind the products. But honestly, the truth is I just needed to know the basics. I needed to know about the products. I needed to know about what problems they solved. And I needed to know the fastest way that I could help pet parents with their pets' issues. And for me, it was going to the front end of my website and pretend like I was a customer and learning all of the products, reading through the product facts. It was going through all of the pet stories to see what kind of transformations that pets have had using the products. Now, mind you, I didn't have pets when I joined. Who joins? Who does this? Who joins a pet sales product company without pets? I do. That was totally me. I knew that I could change the lives of pets and make some income by doing it. And so I didn't have any pet stories of my own because I couldn't use any of the products on my own pets. And so the pet stories really have helped me over the years. I now have 2 dogs and a cat, but over the years, I used borrowed stories. And so to really understand how you can use these products and share those, the pet stories tab was something that was a big source for me. I shared it all the time. I would screenshot it, I would send links, and just become really familiar with the front end of your website so that you know that if somebody has a question about something, you know where to find a video in the app, and you know how to send a link to each different section of the website, which is what I was going to show you, but my website isn't happy with me right now. So no cells for me today until they get that fixed. But I hope that this is helpful. And do you guys have any questions about what we talked about? Now is a really great time for you to ask any questions about your team, ask questions about being a new petPro. We'd love to hear, unless I missed some questions in the chat. Oh,
hey,
thank you for
try this link that I just put in our chat. See if that one works, because it pulls up for me when I click on this one.
Oh, it does?
I'm just curious. Yeah. Sorry, I know this is being recorded.
That's okay. It did work. Thank you.
I have a question if it's okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. So I'm actually kind of like you. Is your name Elka or
Yeah.
Ella?
It's Elka.
Okay. Okay, that's super pretty. I just
Thank you.
didn't want to get it wrong. But I had my meeting yesterday with Kathleen, and I come from Unity Environmental University. I'm representing them as their Masters of Animal Science and Behavior student. I worked in the vet industry for quite a long time, and I realized that the food that a lot of my patients would be feeding their pets was not good at all. So I definitely do believe in the mission of pottery after reading up on them the past several days. I love the ingredients. I love the problems that they're solving. Um, when I get into my petPro business,
Mhm.
I obviously the income is great, but my experience would be like gold for me, especially in my education with doing pet wellness checks and doing nutrition consults and all of that. So could you maybe dive in a little bit more on how that's executed?
Yes, absolutely. So everybody does things a little bit differently. Coming from the vet industry, I was very knowledgeable, but I also had to recognize that the average pet parent didn't need to have the details that I wanted to share with them. But it was important for me to have those details on hand just in case I needed to have those questions. But I had to kind of tone it down because as much as I would see a lot of those pet foods coming in and you'd be like, not a good choice. It was hard to make a recommendation. And so I do what's called customized pet nutrition consults. They're free, they're part of the service that I provide in my pottery business. When I meet with somebody, I will do a pet profile over it, but I will also talk about any medical issues that that pet had because we try to stay away from a lot of the medical issues. And if it's something that they haven't worked with their vet on, then I will say, hey, look, you've got to work with your vet on this and this and this, but here are some recommendations that you can start on your own decision as long as it doesn't impede with what the vet wants to do, right? Because I like to know those things. And I actually, I'll tell you, I used to use a binder and I would have each owner with the pet so that I could take conversations of each of it because I was pretty detailed. Like I wanted to know all of the things because I was also very forgetful because I was working with so many people. But I also make sure that when I'm on these pet consults, the added value that I will add is where a lot of them are local to me. And I will ask them, do you have a vet that you're working with that you're happy with? Here are some recommendations. Do you have a groomer? If an emergency happens, like, do you know, especially new puppy consults? I do senior consults, I do puppy consults, I do regular adult dog consults, and you can add as much value that you want in there. And I will pre-front them and say, my consultations are free unless you choose to purchase the products, and then I get paid commissions on them. I'm very upfront with that. And that's really how I have used that as a tool because I have had in the very beginning when I was still working, 3 12s to 4 13s in there, I had a very limited time to do this. So I would do like a Saturday and Saturday were my appointment days. And now I can get through a pet profile consultation in a half an hour. But before I was doing hourly time blocks. So I could make sure that I could do that. And so I would spend the week bringing people to appointments on Saturdays. And then I would go through and just do Zoom calls or phone calls. And I would have them try to do the pet profile prior to having them join my consult so that we could just talk about questions and move right into recommendations. Is that helpful for you?
Very helpful. And definitely would like to do that, even at the beginning of my pottery experience. So I would love to work with you on that as well as my mentor, Connie. I'm very excited to be doing that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And the cool thing is, like, for me personally, I've been on, it took me a long time to figure out what social media was. And
Mhm.
I'll just share openly. I didn't, I thought everybody had the same vision of these pet products as I did. And I thought everybody was going to buy from me. And when that didn't happen, I had disappointment that set in, right? Because I was like, what? Nobody sees what I see with this. And it was really kind of hard. And so I had to be really creative in different aspects. And so for me, vendor events was something I did right out of the gate to build new people and bring them into my business. It was a way that I could make right now money while I learned how to do social media for the long-term game. And so most of mine have been built, most of my business has been built off of my Healthy Pets Kitchen was like kind of like my tagline, but it's changed like 7 different times in the last 10 years. But just know that no matter how it ends up, that nothing has to be perfect right now. You can try doing different things as far as all of the different avenues that you can use to build the business. But the truth is just starting to have conversations, practice pet profiles is absolutely going to make you money. Because if you think about it, and Christy, maybe she can do the math for me on this, because I know how to count money, but I'm not good at math. Okay. Know that math skills are not something you have to have in this business. But let's just say that I have a pet profile scheduled. Okay. I have an hour-long pet profile scheduled. I walk through, I talk to them about everything. We nail down their adult pets issues. They end up getting, let's say, they have a little chihuahua, so they get 1 bag of food and 3 products. That's over $100 order. Okay. That's pretty common as a new pet pro moving into having skills to have a $75 to $100 order. So let's say it's a $130 order that I end up closing in an hour period of time. What are the commissions that I would get as a new pet pro if I hit that 2000 tier? If I hit all of it, what would the commissions on that? Was it 45%? I'm going to have Christy fill this up because I want or math it out for me. Thank you for being my genius today.
It looks like you'd be making $58.50.
Okay. I say this because I was a veterinary technician for 21 years. I made $16.50 an hour. $16.50 an hour is a top paid vet tech in the state of Utah. Today, I'm making $58 an hour. Just by adding love, life, and value to a pet parent. Would that make a difference in your life? It made a difference in my life. And that's a bigger one, right? But even if your average is $100 sales, 75 to 100, and you have 4 or 5 of those scheduled for you on a Saturday or in between, the time that you have other life things going on, imagine the difference of the commissions that you can make on a monthly basis just by being very intentional with the people that family members. Like I used to always tell my team, like, look, call your grandpa and be like, hey, grandpa, I got to practice this pet profile thing. Can I come over? Can we jump on the phone? I got to practice my conversations. Your grandpa will sit and listen to you ramble for an hour. But learn to have these conversations because it'll help you in the long run. So Abigail, I hope that answers your question. Yes, I'm happy to help you however I can. There's many pet pros that do it. Everybody does it kind of different and how they incorporate pottery into their business. Mine is evolved. Yeah, it is. It'd make a difference. Connie, go ahead.
I wanted to also share because this is something that I heard consistently from you and from Kathleen, and I was coming in sort of in the same position that you were, Elka. I had been a vet tech, then I went out on my own, almost complete with my doctorate in naturopathic animal science. So I've had my own holistic wellness practice for 6 years and wanted to incorporate this. And this company was so much different than other MLM companies, if you will, in that everything that I heard from you and Roger and Kathleen and Christy was, we're here to serve, not to sell. And when you sort of get into that mindset, and we hear that every week on the calls, is you may have somebody that you couldn't help right now. Maybe they thought the product was too expensive, or they're just not in that same place right now. Just how we have come over the last year amazes me and is so exciting, because we've really sort of come full circle in that, we're making posts and it's just informational posts about, does your pet have this, or here's just some informational piece, not putting a product out there. This is how much it is. This is what it does. And I think that will help the pet pros, because in my opinion, just in the last year, I have really seen us take sort of that direction with the company. And we're here to serve those pet owners and help them. And it might not be right now, it might be down the road, but making those posts and putting that information out there to friends, family, just anybody in general, somebody at some point in time is going to say, I remember Abigail. I remember her talking about this. I want to get in touch with her and do this. And so I just wanted to add that to what you were saying as, another way that the pet pros are going to be able to help, the people that they come in contact with.
Oh my gosh, that was so beautiful and so perfect. Absolutely. And I want you to consider what she said very clearly, okay? Like if I'm on social media, and this is just, we have to learn how to market our businesses and step into a business like this. It doesn't matter what it is. We have to learn different tools and different ideas and different strengths. So I want you to just take this perception stepping into pottery, and maybe you already know this, okay? If I do 2 posts on Facebook, okay? My first post example is, oh my God, joint support, $67.99. Okay, that's post 1. And then we have post 2. Post 2 is not what the product is. Post 2 is, how does this product help pets? So the mindset shift is really coming from, like Connie said, the place of service. It's what does this product do and what does it solve? You're coming from a place of solving pet issues, not selling the products. Just because it's joint support doesn't mean that every pet parent in the world knows what joint support does, knows when to start it, knows how to give it, and knows what it's supposed to do, right? But if you start implementing your posts on what the product solves, when to start it, and you're educating about the product instead of here's joint support $67.99, nobody's going to come to it and say, oh my gosh, that's so expensive. But if you come from a place of, if your dog has achy discomfort joints and maybe they're of this age and you haven't thought about giving a supplement to add to their already existing diet, this is maybe a potential that can help you, and this is what it does. Somebody's going to come to you, maybe Allison comes to me and sends me a message and is like, oh, I never thought about that on joint support. I'm like, yeah, do you want me to share with you what I want to have? No longer is money on their place of mind if I can't afford it, because people sometimes don't always look at their pet's health as an investment. They look at it as an expense. And so as a new pet pro, when we start posting as if it's an investment versus an its expense, we will get difference. We will have different types of conversations with pet parents as we get started doing this. I hope that I articulated that well. Does anybody have anything they want to add or any additional questions? Make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. I'll count down. No other final questions? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and we can wrap this up. And so I would love for you guys to spend the next 15 minutes going to your greenhouse, checking out everything, getting into the launch pad. Even if you're a seasoned pet pro, now's a really good time for us to invest some time in learning the greenhouse as well. But I really want you guys to consider some of the other tools that Pottery, as well as our team, has to offer. If you don't know already, as a new pet pro, you have many opportunities to grow. So Monday nights are great team calls to come and learn a lot of the basics of what our team and the company offers and the values and hear story. It's a giant call with everybody. And on Wednesday evenings, I host a personal Q&A call every single Wednesday from 5 to 6. And this is a great Q&A call, whether you're a new pet pro or you're a seasoned pet pro. Anything that you have questions in the greenhouse about cells, about having conversations, about social media, about vendor events, Wednesday nights are a place that you can come and ask questions, and me and other pet pro leaders will help you to be your thought partner, your brainstorm partner. We will give you recommendations. And if needed, we also do a lot of mindset, right? Because a part of this business is also a mind frame, right? We got to be in a good headspace to be able to go talk to people and to create the things that we want to. So also know that the Wednesday night calls are also open to you. And you can come back to every Friday anytime you want, because there will always be the Q&A at the end where you can ask questions and seek help. So that gives you a minimum of 3 opportunities each week to learn, grow, and connect with your team as well as your upline leaders. So I had fun today on Friday's call. I'm excited that Trisha and honored that Trisha, let me do today's call. She entrusted me enough to be here and host alongside Christy and Alice and some of the other petPro leaders. Again, you find us on social media. We're everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. I hope you guys have a beautiful Friday.
Great job. Thank you so much, Elka.
Thank you.